Hi, this is Susan, your library director from the McCracken County Public Library for another mini story time. Again, let's say hi to Toonces. Hi, Toons. Thank you, Toonces. Again, I wish we could have more with Toonces, but that's about all he'll tolerate. So thank you for that, Toonces. Well, today's story is about, well, let me see if you can guess, because I usually have a hint up here on my bookshelf about what the story is about. So what do you see? Do you see some chickens? Do you see a big egg? Very good. Well, that's what our story is about today. This is The Chickens Are Coming by Barbara Samuels. And let's thank our friends at Macmillan Publishing for allowing us to read this today. Ready to get started? Okay. And you can't see it, but Toonces is actually down there listening, so he wants to hear the story too. One day, Mommy, Winston, and Sophie saw an interesting sign. My chickens need a home. I'm moving and I can't take them with me. You don't need to live in the country to raise chickens, said Mommy. We have a backyard. The chickens can come live with us. Chickens make good pets, said Daddy. And Sophie said, chickens are better than dogs. They know how to lay eggs. I want to walk a chicken, said Winston. Nobody walks a chicken, said Sophie. So here's Sophie at school. The chickens are coming soon, said Sophie. I'll give each of you an egg at the next show and tell. The chickens are coming tomorrow, Winston told everybody on the bus, and then he did the chicken dance. Do you know the chicken dance? Bark, bark, bark. Like that. Guess what? The chickens are here. Their names were Desiree, Daphne, Divina, Delilah, and Dawn. I like the one with the hat, said Winston. Chickens don't wear hats, said Sophie. That's the way Daphne's feathers grow. Winston introduced himself. Hi, my name is Winston, and I like pizza with pepperoni, and my favorite TV show is The Deep Sea Adventures of a Lobster Named Leonard. Why don't you chickens like me? The next day, Winston and Sophie went out with their baskets to collect the eggs. There were no eggs, but there was plenty of chicken poo. Whew. 3 days later, still not a single egg. All the chickens did was roll in the dirt, and Daddy said they were taking dirt baths to help get rid of bugs. The chickens weren't the only ones who liked dirt baths. And Mommy said, you, Winston, are not a chicken. A week went by, no eggs yet. Something had to be done. So Sophie and Winston put on a play. The Easter Bunny needs you. But the chickens were more interested in leftover linguine and stale bagels. Daddy said music helps chickens lay eggs. So Sophie played her violin and Winston played his guitar. But still no eggs. The next night, Winston read the chickens a special bedtime story to get them in the mood. It didn't. But every day, as the children watched the chickens, they learned more about them. Desiree was the best flyer, and Delilah was the most curious, and Divina was bossy, and Dawn was shy, and Daphne bumped into things. Soon, Winston and Sophie were spending much of their time hanging out with Desiree, doing homework with Delilah, keeping Divina from bullying Dawn, and telling secrets to Daphne. One morning, they heard a big commotion from the chicken coop. Burp, 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 burp. So Sophie grabbed her chicken chart and she and Winston rushed out to the backyard. And there it was, the very first egg, and it was perfect. Until Winston dropped it. Yuck, said Sophie. That egg was no good anyway, Winston said. It was blue. It says on my chart, Delilah's eggs are supposed to be blue, said Sophie. Look, said Winston. There was another egg under the tree, 2 more under the lounge chair, and 1 more in Winston's dump truck. But then they noticed something else. The chickens were gone! Daphne, where are you? Oh no, cried Winston. First we had chickens with no eggs, and now we have eggs with no chickens. Don't worry, Winston, said Sophie. I know how to find missing chickens. We'll follow the trail. And it wasn't so easy. Winston got stuck on the rose bush, but Sophie pried him off and patched him up, and they continued on until they reached the sliding doors to the family room. And guess what? There they all were. Desiree and Daphne and Divina and Delilah and Dawn eating leftover pizza and watching the deep-sea adventures of a lobster named Leonard. Winston's favorite show, right? And that morning, everybody ate pancakes and blueberry muffins made with fresh eggs. Hooray for the chickens, said Daddy. Winston gave Daphne his entire muffin, and then, when everyone had finished eating, what do you think they did? They all did the chicken dance. And that's the story of The Chickens Are Coming. Thank you so much for listening. Come back and see us next time for another mini story time.